This is the new show. It's not the old show. This is the new show. It's not the old show.
Hey, howdy, hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's The New Show. This week's The New Show might be shorter than usual. However, I did watch recently two movies. One was a documentary. The other one was a terrible, terrible horror movie. I'm not going to share the titles because it's not important. What is important is, and it was interesting that the very bad horror movie brought it up, was the interesting theme that both movies kind of explored surprisingly, or at least the very bad horror movie discussed surprisingly. So you're in a long-term relationship, whether that's friends, family, loved ones, like, romantically. How little over time could that person change before you began to notice? For the best or the worst? And it's not always going to be something bad. Like, let's say that they are hiding a health thing from you and they're trying to hold themselves together for the betterment of themselves, for the betterment of the family. And so they're slow, over time, incremental changes in things that they do or how they act, or they just try and hide things from you. And it's incremental. And how little a change over time would it take for you to notice? And when would you notice that? Or when would the teeter-totter kind of go whoop? And you'd be like, wait a minute, my friend, my family member, my romantic partner, it's no longer the same, and there's something different about them. And it wasn't all of a sudden, because it wasn't oh my gosh. It wasn't hey honey, I'm taking $10,000 and going down to the casino tonight, and they come back broke. That's obvious. But they take an extra 5 minutes coming home every day, and you're like, that's odd. But it's not that big of a difference, right? It's incremental. And so it's okay, and you wouldn't notice at first, maybe, or maybe you would, I don't know. How little of a change would need to occur in that person's life, in your life, for things to begin to become noticeable. And the documentary is very sad, and I didn't mean to laugh there. I just thought of the terrible horror movie. But the documentary explores what happened on the East Coast, this terrible car accident, and what happened to this woman. And probably she was hiding a drinking problem to handle tooth pain. Probably. But maybe her husband didn't notice because she drank a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And it's but everything she presented was this is this amazing person. So nobody really noticed because maybe it was smaller and it changed a little bit over time. I know not the shiniest, happiest, but sometimes interesting things happen that are not always shiny or happy. All right. I want you to think of the most ferocious, wildest, best hunting wildcat you can think of. Do you have that in your mind? Maybe you're thinking the jaguar, with its spots, might blend in well in its environment, can hunt pretty good in the jungle, blends in well. Sometimes they're spotted, sometimes they're black. They might blend in pretty well depending on where they're at, right? Maybe it's a tiger. They're stripes, they hunt low, they spring fast, bigger than you think, stronger than you expect, right? Perhaps. Maybe Maybe it's lions. They hunt in packs, they work together, they bring down elephants, zebras, water buffalo, giraffes, all sorts of things, right? Known to work in packs and hunt lots of different things. Wouldn't be them. Maybe you're thinking cheetahs, really fast. Chase after something really fast, bring it down. No, it's not cheetahs either. Maybe you're thinking mountain lions. They cover east to west across the North and South America, covering a lot of ground, surprisingly. They might take down a lot more animals than we think, right? Because they cover a lot of area, surprisingly. Again, a good guess. You'd still be wrong. No, the most well-known hunting wildcat in the world is this little, we'll get it, this little kitty over here. Probably about the size of my house cats. A black-footed cat. They're very well known for hunting smaller animals. They hunt predominantly at night. They have incredible night vision and are very, very good at hunting animals. Surprising, isn't it? All right. Lastly, for this week, because I did say it was going to be a shorter one, my music recommendation for this week is Gillian, Gillian, Welch. Welch, like Welch's grape juice, Welch. And the song is Acony, Acony, Bell. I'm also going to put a link down below. And for those that see this on Facebook, there will be a link for that song as well. Every time I hear this song, I think of both of my grandparents. It's an incredible song. And it's just, to me, it's beautiful. There will be no new show next week. I know. But in lieu of no new show next week, I am scripting and going to be writing and making a longer form video for next week. I have some things that I want to say and share, and it'll be in a slightly different spot than here. Not that much different. It's still in my house, but just in a slightly different spot. There's some things that, with the ongoing everything, I want to say. So, I hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you next week. Bye!